This episode of Another Great Day is brought to you by Salad Bars, the only bar worth visiting on the regular. It's Monday, April 3rd, 2023. I'm Aaron, and this is Chris.
Hello, I'm here.
We'd like to welcome you back to Another Great Day, the podcast designed to encourage... What happened?
I hope I'm not late. I've just arrived. It's been a crazy day. We're here.
That's right. I forgot you texted me that your plane just landed mere seconds ago as you came rushing in. Your tie's halfway down. Your briefcase has papers flying all out of it as you're rushing into the studio to sit down. But you are here.
It didn't help that I was riding that Harley across the rooftops and smashed through the window to get into the studio.
So epic. So epic. Man, well, we're glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. And just like this podcast is designed to do, we're both interacting and being creative. And I'll throw the third one in there. We're having a conversation. That's part of podcasting, eh?
Indeed, we are.
Indeed, indeed. Well, Chris, I think this is a great time for us to introduce our brandest, newest, most segmenty segment ever called The Best Segment Ever. The Best Segment Ever. That's right. This was actually inspired by my great co-host, Chris. You guys might know him. He often encourages me to dwell on the positive. So, Chris, why don't you take a minute to explain?
Sometimes people are negative. Talk about the worst things. Not here. We are not going to dwell on the worst things. We're going to talk about the best, most positive things.
Aha. Well said, Chris. Well, let's do this. I called you Cress, like C-H-R-E-S.
That's not the worst I've been called. It's the best I've been called. The best segment ever.
All right. Well, today's topic for the best segment ever is...
what's the best way to prepare a hot dog?
All right, Chris. Well, I'm really glad you asked me this. And listeners, I hope you're having fun with this, and I hope you'll discuss this amongst yourselves after. But for me, I'm plain Jane guy. I want a hot dog in a white bun, white bread bun, slightly toasted. I want to put ketchup on it, and then I want to do a swirl, like a little squiggly of just yellow mustard right on top. That's it. Old school hot dog.
Are there other types of buns?
There's wheat buns.
Do people do fancy buns? Is that a thing people do?
I've seen wheat buns. There's probably like some sort of tofu bun.
Have you ever had a fancy hot dog?
Never. Like was it presented on fine china? I don't know.
There's got to be places that sell, like, we have
artisan,
yeah,
handcrafted,
aged,
organic, yeah, all those things.
That's got to be a thing somewhere. So my best hot dog, preparing my best hot dog would be, I guess, a regular hot dog bun with hot dog inside. But the kind of hot dog would be beef or like a bratwurst, not necessarily just the regular hot dog. And I would, growing up, we used to go to, and this is not the best version of this, I just remember doing this. We'd go to Sonic and get the coney. I don't know why it's called a coney.
I don't know either.
I have no clue.
Maybe from Coney Island or something.
Maybe it's from Coney Island. It's just referencing that. But it would be chili and cheese and mustard and ketchup.
So good. So good.
If I was building it myself, it would also have barbecue and Fritos on it. Chili cheese. That's the ultimate tear up your gut dog. I would love it.
Dude.
It'd be great.
That sounds amazing. All right, you win. I like that. It's not a contest, but you definitely win. I want your hot dog. Well, listen, listeners, if you have a best thing topic you'd like us to discuss, odds are you don't have social media yet. But you can bug your parents about sending something to us on our Instagram page, Another Great Day Podcast. Or you can ask your parents to post a question on our Instagram page, Another Great Day Podcast, with your idea for the best thing topic.
And that will bring us to this day in history.
On this day in 1860, the first Pony Express mail traveling by horse and rider relay teams, meaning a guy on a horse or a person on a horse would ride to a certain part of the country, hand the mail to another person who would be on a different horse, take that all the way to a certain point, and it was just these little, almost like a relay race of getting mail across America. And so they would simultaneously leave these places, and on this day in history, one left St. Joseph, Missouri, and Sacramento, California. So if you're listening at home, you might be more familiar with writing emails, or more likely these days be more familiar with sending a text message, but way before people had to write letters and mail them to their friends. This meant you had to be really thoughtful about your message because you weren't going to be able to communicate across long distances so easily like we can today.
All right, I was trying to imagine for a kid the time this would be. This is very difficult for adults to do even. But imagine you have grandparents. And imagine that those grandparents have their own grandparents.
What?
Yep. And then imagine those people have their own grandparents, and do that one more time. That's when people were doing horse mail, Pony Express.
Before email, horse mail. The evolution of mail. Horse mail, snail mail, email.
I was going to call it P-mail for Pony Express, but I'm going to edit that out.
I think that's a great idea.
And that will do it for this day in history.
This next segment's called the question of the day. And if you're new to this, we'll ask a question, encourage you to discuss it with those around you, and we'll be right back. All right. Today's question of the day is, imagine phones and messaging don't exist at all. How would you tell your friend to come over to play? Bonus points for your creativity. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to another great day. Question was, phones and text messaging don't exist. How would you tell your friend to come over to play?
So I'm going to answer this question. I'm going to imagine that my neighbor friend is just a couple houses down. And I'm going to, as a kid, my dad did construction stuff a lot, and we would have random supplies, materials. This is what I would do. I would take this would be terrible for the all my neighbors. But I would it would last about 5 minutes, and then it would all be like, this is not a good idea. Please stop this.
Neighbors inviting Ted over again.
I would connect a pipe together, and then I could like tap on it, and I could connect all the way to his house, like on the sidewalk. But this would break after the first person drove over the pipe and was like, why is there a pipe in my driveway? But being a kid, I didn't care. I thought it was cool if this was the scenario. So
I love that.
That's my answer in a fictional world, not real. Not a great idea, but a solution to this problem.
There are no bad ideas here on another great day, Chris. Well, I think my idea is a little different, pretty impractical as well. I would create a way that I could shoot fireworks into the sky that would make messages. So these would be somehow, I'd be like, those tubes, I think they call them mortar shells or whatever. They shoot up and they go huge fireworks. I would have that. And it'd be like, can you come over? And it would shoot up into the sky.
I'm imagining getting home from school, rushing in to watch the last 3 minutes of Dragon Ball Z, which comes on before I got home, and then hearing a kaboom in the sky and thinking, what? Is that Aaron again?
It's time to go play.
It's time.
Not just you, buddy. All the neighborhood kids are coming over.
And I would turn to my mom and say, can I go? And she'd say, have you done your homework? And then I would sit back down.
Hey, well, at least you were invited. Great talk today, Chris. Well, our dad joke correspondent is out picking flowers in the Himalayas, and so we're going to do our darndest to fill in. All right? How about a little joke, Chris? Take it away.
Okay. Did you hear the one about the unstamped letter?
No, I don't think I have.
You wouldn't get it.
We'll be right back. Well, welcome back to another great day. I'm Aaron, and that's Chris, and we're so glad you're here. This part of our show is called the Word of Wisdom. Here we go.
Proverbs 21:11. If you punish a mocker, the simple-minded become wise. If you instruct the wise, they will become all the wiser. This is the NLT version. That was the NLT version. This is the Amplified Bible version. When the scoffer is punished, the naive observes the lesson and becomes wise. But when the wise and the teachable person are instructed, they receive knowledge.
Well, that'll do it for today. Let's cue the music and wrap things up. Our mission here is to encourage interaction, creativity, and conversation.
So even though today's show may have come to an end, that does not mean your discussions have to come to an end.
We thank you for listening and hope you make it another
Great
day. We'll see you tomorrow. What's the best condiment to put on a hot dog?
The best condiment to put on a hot dog.
All right. And actually, let's redo that because you're supposed to read the question. I apologize.
All right. That's okay. What is the best condiment to put on a hot dog?
Ooh, okay. First thing that comes to my mind, mustard. All day. And that's it.
I agree with mustard.
All right. Well, that'll do it for the best.
That's not it. If I was making my ultimate hot dog and putting things on top, it would definitely, if it was the best condiment, which is going to be, for me, about 7 different condiments.
Ooh, so maybe we actually changed the question. We're doing this on the fly. Maybe it's what's the best way to make a hot dog?
There we go. I like it.
Prepare a hot dog. You want to redo it?
Yep.
Right.
What's the best way to prepare a hot dog?
The end.